I made over $6,000 selling candy my first year of middle school. It's waiting on permission from their parents, school, and society norm. I would make myself go into awkward positions, not knowing anything about the meeting, not knowing anything about what I would talk about, not knowing anything about what's going on, and I will force. As a 15-year-old, I've already helped brands make over 6 figures, and here's exactly how I managed to do it at the ripe old age of 15 years old. In this video, I'm gonna keep it short and simple so it'll hit the hardest. And by doing that, I'm gonna break this video into 3 main sections. In section 1, I'm gonna be talking about the no permission code. And the thing that stops a lot of young kids and young entrepreneurs in general from reaching their highest potential is waiting on permission from their parents, school, and society norms. But guess what? In order for me to reach the status that I have gotten to, or even the status that I haven't yet unlocked that I know I will reach, is because I didn't listen to those norms. I didn't listen to those rules or just regulations that were set for somebody that was meant to be my age. What I decided to do was rewrite my own code into saying what I can do and when I would do it. And you can do the exact same thing, and here's how. The first thing that you need to do is stop listening when somebody doubts you. You use that as your motivation to keep going. There's so many times that people looked at me, I told them an idea, and they thought I was delusional. You know something is going right up there when people start thinking that your ideas and your dreams are delusional. That's how you know you're dreaming big, bigger than they can ever imagine. And once you have that dream, you keep chasing it so you know that it will not slip through your fingers. You gotta grasp it, hold on to it as tight as you can, and keep pushing, keep working, stay consistent at it. And don't let people like teachers or other students at your schools down you in order to make you stay complacent in the same area that you don't want to stay in. Comfort kills kings and queens. You cannot evolve if you're staying in the same place and you're not moving forward to where you want to be. Just like me, I started entrepreneurship when I was 10 years old, practically 11, is when I started selling candy at my middle school. I know most schools, they probably don't let you sell candy, but I made over $6,000 selling candy my first year of middle school. Now, what 11, 10-year-old know is actually doing that? No one but me. And you can do the same thing if you actually put your mind to it. See, I had a goal that I wanted to make money. I didn't want to always rely on my parents, or I didn't always want to rely on somebody else to give me money to do whatever, or to get this, or to buy a game or whatever. I wanted to be able to do that on my own. I wanted to be the person that, okay, everybody needs something or somebody needs something, they can look towards me. I wanted to have that feeling because I don't know, deep down inside, even if I'm just paying for somebody's candy, which is probably like $2 or $1, it made me feel good inside. And I took that feeling and I made that motivate me. Every time somebody would say, oh, you're not going to make that much money from doing that, or people are going to rip you off, or you're going to get caught by the teachers, that filled me. I used that same doubt as motivation in order for me to reach that $6,000 in the 6th grade. In the 6th grade, I was carrying around $6,000, probably even more, but I just rounded it up in order so you can know that it will be able to act like that. So, the main thing that I'm trying to tell you is that no matter what you may believe, or what your parents may believe, or what your school may believe, or what society as a whole may believe, it can be false. It can be false. So that is why it's up to you to figure it out on your own. Figure it out. Learn from people who have made it to the place that you want to be. Learn from your thoughts. Learn from your mistakes. After you keep trying at a certain thing, you have no other option but to be successful at it once you try amount of times. Failure is a part of success. There has never been a person who's been successful at something who never failed at it before. Now let's talk, I would say, even if you have a certain talent in something, you can still be greater by achieving a certain goal by being consistent at it. Keep failing at it. The more you fail, the more better you get. Now moving on to section 2, I'm going to be talking about how I use discomfort as my gym. And I'm not talking about a physical gym, I'm talking about a mental gym. And what I mean by a mental gym is using awkward situations, situations that will probably make a person uncomfortable, use that to level up my badges, max out all of my attributes. And what I mean by that is, in certain situations, let's say you don't like speaking in large groups, or you don't like doing public speaking, or you're scared to lead a business meeting, I would use those certain situations to better myself as an entrepreneur and as a person in general. I would make myself go into awkward positions, not knowing anything about the meeting, not knowing anything about what I will talk about, not knowing anything about what's going on, and I will force myself to interact with everyone. I will force myself in order to lead the same meeting. And by you using that same discomfort as your war ground, as your gym, you have no other option but make the uncomfortable comfortable. And by you making the uncomfortable comfortable, you will level up all of your attributes. You will max out all of your badges. And that's exactly the same mentality that you will need to have in order to become a successful entrepreneur, or a successful spokesman, or a successful businessman or woman. That's exactly the type of mentality that you have to have. So every discomfortable or uncomfortable situation that you go in, look at it as a level or an opportunity for you to level up yourself as a person, as an entrepreneur, as anything that you want to be. Because in order to reach the status that I want to be, I need to push myself and put myself in these awkward positions to where, okay, I don't know what's going on. And you need to be able to push yourself to that absolute limit. No, I'm not talking about a little small conversation here and there. I'm talking about constantly. Once you're constantly working at a certain thing, it has no other option but to get better as you progress. And that's exactly what I did with public speaking. Now I can go into a room, or I can go into the meeting not knowing anything about what they're talking about. Just listen for 2 minutes, and then guess what? Next thing you know, after those 2 minutes are over, I'm probably leading the meeting. And that's the same type of mentality that you need to have. And you can build it by using your discomfort as a mental gym. Now moving on to section 3, I'm gonna be talking about detaching yourself from the world's timeline. And what I mean by the world timeline is the default coding that everybody has been set and programmed to. Go to high school, get your high school diploma, then go to college, get your degree in the field that you want to work in, and then work in that degree for the rest of your life. That's the programming that the whole society wants you to follow. They want you to follow the same script, the same code as everyone else. Well, guess what? If you want to become successful right now as a young teen, as a young entrepreneur, this is the code that you need to follow. This is the same exact timeline that I follow in order to reach the status where I'm at right now, and to reach the status that I will be reaching in the next few years from now. When I was young, as I said previously, when I was 10 years old, I started stacking up my wins just at the ripe age of 10. I just made double digits. I'm steady stacking up wins, bringing in thousands of dollars at 10 years old in the 6th grade. I haven't even made it to high school yet. And by you stacking up small wins like that, you have no other option but to make those small wins lead to even bigger ones. And what I mean by that is those same small wins that I did selling candy, learning how to sell, learning how to negotiate, to help me to start this company where I'm running right now, which is IMPLISON. IMPLISON is, I like to refer to it as a big olive tree with different branches. I do consulting where I help people like you guys learn about entrepreneurship, learn how to make their business thrive. I have an SMMA company where I help different people with their social media. I help them advertise. I help them reach a larger audience with their personal brand, with their clothing brand, different things like that. I have a credit and finance agency, is where I help people build their finances, help them with their credit, help businesses build business credit. And most people didn't even notice, but even though I'm a minor, I'm still building credit as we speak, business and personal credit. And I bet you didn't even know that because they don't want you to know those things. And I built the whole company revolving around it. And I'll leave a link down in the description if you want to book a call with me with any of those branches, and you'll be able to get a personal one-on-one call with me, YMA. Now moving on. If you want to detach yourself from those sidelines and those same bench that you've been riding your whole life, just moving on autopilot, you have to move differently than everyone else. If you follow in the crowd, you will lead to the same place that they end up at. But if you go deviating from the path, you won't end up at the same place. You'll probably end up at a better place or a worse place depending on your actions. Now, I'm not saying run away from the crowd and then go do stupid stuff. Don't make calculated risks, just doing everything blindly. No, I'm talking about making calculated risks, making smart decisions, doing smart things with your money, not spending it unwisely, leading up those small wins to make even bigger ones, just like I just stated previously. Now, I want to ask you a serious question, just me and you. What 15-year-old know that you know at that has their own company that's thriving, helping other brands and other personal brands make over 6 figures? Now, if you can answer that, besides it being me, then I'll be quiet. Just like that. But you can't. It's not realistic. That's what they want you to believe. Well, it's realistic enough to where I'm making it happen. Now, once you move and you deviate from the same path that everybody wants you to, then you will start seeing your life play out the same way that you want it to. Every action has a positive or negative equal reaction to it. So every time you move towards your goal, every time you act as if you are that person that you want to be, is either pushing you to where you want to be or is either pushing you further away from it. And that's exactly how you need to move going forward. Detach yourself from the timeline that society has established on everybody, all of the teens, all of the kids. And if you're a parent and you're watching this, have your kid do something productive instead of sitting, watching, and scrolling on TikTok all day, instead of looking at YouTube shorts, instead of playing Fortnite or GTA or 2K and Madden. Have them do something productive. Now, I'm not saying, okay, they can't watch TV or they can't play the game, but do not let that be majority of their life or majority of their teenage years. Have them go out, have them explore their self mentally and physically, have them do things that will put them out of their comfort zone to make them level up as a human being and as an entrepreneur or just a better person in general. Now, you can do it. I know you can, because if I'm only 15 and I started when I was 10 years old and I can do it, then I know for sure that you can too. Now, to wrap the video up, I have this last message for y'all. You don't need to be 25 in order to lead. You don't need to be rich in order to start building. You just need to stop asking how and when and just start doing. Once you start doing, once you start taking those actions to that certain goal, you will reach the certain level of success that you always dreamed and hoped of becoming. The same success, the same riches, the same wealth that you couldn't even imagine possible for yourself, that other people didn't even imagine for yourself. The same people that will call you delusional will steadily congratulate you. Just think of that. Just think of that. Just that thought alone. Just let that be your fuel to push you forward every day. Now, you can level yourself up. You can. No matter how far down you are, you can constantly level yourself up. Even no matter how high you are, you can constantly still improve. Now, if you want to become a successful entrepreneur or better yourself mentally and physically, follow me, because I will help you get there. No matter what it may cost, no matter what your situation is, I will help you. And with that being said, in all due respect, YM Abe out.